Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the pre-market trade plan setup for Monday, July 20th, 2015. My name is Doug McKay. I'm the founder of Quantum Leap and head trader. Quantum Leap is a group of retail traders that have been around in one form or another for over 6 years now, or coming up on 6 years in September, I should say. If you want more information about our subscription service and our live trade room, please send an email to quantumleaptrading@gmail.com or give me a call, 647-545-8065. Each morning we like to come together and take a look at the market, macro to micro, and start setting up our trade levels and our targets and our hypotheses for the day. Before I get going, I have to do the disclaimer. This information is for the purpose of educating members who want to expand the knowledge of the business trading. It's not for trading or investment advice. You and only you are responsible for the trades or investment decisions you make. Trading futures or any instrument involves risk of loss. Please consider carefully whether futures or options are appropriate to financial situation. Only risk capital should be used when trading futures or options. Investors can lose more than initial investment. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Any trades that you see in here are for education purposes only. Please trade your own trade plan, your own risk management. Okay, so Monday, July 20th news. We had wholesale sales month over month in Canada. They're down. We don't really have anything else until we get to 2:30, where we've got Treasurer Secretary Liu speaks. Other than that, it's going to be headline news coming out of Greece, etc. The banks supposedly are open in Greece today. We'll see. So each morning I like to start off with just a basic routine and taking a look at the trends. I run a candlestick chart with the 9 EMA and 20 SMA, very basic stuff, and I'm just looking for slope and separation, where we are within the trend in the different time frames. I start with the monthly and work my way back. You can see how we've got great slope and separation on the monthly. We're trading near all-time highs. The trend is very much intact on the monthly. The weekly, we had 2 weeks below the 9 and the 20. We've now popped back up above and closed above last week, so the trend is now intact again. More consolidation. There is a possible head and shoulder here, so if we start to get a pullback and we come back down into this neckline down here around 2034, that could trigger a much bigger move down, but we don't know. My hypothesis is they're not going to leave this 2134 alone. Therefore, this pattern will be negated. Going to the daily, you can see that we have started that trend on the daily we were talking about last week. We do have a naked cross here at 2084. The number I'm really watching closely is 2089. I'll show you why that is when we get to the composite. But the trend, we do have a trend going, and we've got price paralleling the 9 nicely, although we do have a bit of a technical gap, and close to the gap will bring us back down into the 2100. I'd say 2103.75 is probably where the gap will get filled, depending on if we close through price or by time, or a combination of both. Going to the intraday to see if there's any trends coming into the RTH session. You can see we've been watching this trend on the 4-hour, and it's been pretty strong. We're losing a little bit of slope, but we still have slope and separation. The trend is still very much intact. It doesn't even get close to being violated until we get down into the 2118. Going to the 30-minute, we came down, tested the 20, but we still are above it. But we are below the 9, or we're trying to hold the 9 EMA right now, or get back above it. But the trend again on the 30-minute is still intact. On the 5-minute, you can see that we just got consolidation here. We are trading below the 9 and the 20 right now, so we could see some weakness. I'm expecting a little bit of a pullback today, back into that. There's a naked cross at 2115. We've got our composite 2-day microcomposite VPOC at 2114.50. So we'll take a look at that. The 20-day ATR targets, the low off of the, well, let's go to the composite first, and we'll talk about those ATRs in a few minutes. All right, so the big picture, we broke out of this balance, broke out of the value area. We're coming up and we've accepted price higher. You can see that the 2-day microcomposite VPOC is up. Now I am showing, and I'll have to do a data download, and I'll do it at the end here, that our monthly VPOC has shifted up now to 2114. So I'll be watching this 2114 area as the possible pullback. You had balance this time, and when we made up the all-time high, we tried to hold value at 1650. They came up here again, and you can see that if I was to draw a small little profile on these 2 days that we tried to hold balance up there, it was 1450, and this time again 1450. So if we can't stay above the that key line in the sand, the value area has changed. The key line in the sand above us, which was above us, now below us. Remember, that was 21.18 That's now shifted up to 21.19 on the monthly, and then on the the longer term, going back to the beginning of February, it's still down there at the 21.0675. So I'm watching this 19.25 range, then 18.25, and if we get below that, then I'm looking for a pullback down here to 21.1450 area. Maybe find some responsive buyers down here at 1550. But between that 1550 and that 1450, the key line below us is going to be this 21.1225. If we get below 21.1225, look for them to come back, test the 21.0875, fill this area in, probably chop around in here as they mature the auction in this area between the 12.25 and 8.75. But if we get below 8.75, look for them to quickly come down and test this 21.0675. And if it doesn't hold, then I'm looking for that move back down into the 2100 and back towards this 2093.75. The key for me below right now for to hold and a normal retrace without violating trend will be down here at the 2089.50. Below the 2985.50, I'd be looking for a bigger pullback down towards this 57.50 area with all the key targets below 87.50, 81.25, 75, 75, 71, and 66. All those we've talked about, so I don't have to go into great detail with them. Right now, 22 is our ceiling, 22.75 overnight high. That was our next target above that 20.25. We've hit that last overnight, and then of course, then we start getting into the equalized highs at 24.50, 26.25, 32.25, and 34. The four unequalized all-time highs. So let's take our overnight. Oh, I forgot to delete my numbers. Sorry about this. Didn't clean my chart up from Friday. Sorry, it's got all my levels from Friday. All right. All right, so our overnight high is 22.75. And our overnight low is 1775. Our overnight VPOC is 21. And we've got a LVN at 20, which happens to be the high of the day. So this is going to be pretty simple stuff in terms of levels. To be using 2120 for a move back to take out the naked close at 2118.75, and then just below it we've got this LVN. We've got the open from Friday. We've got the overnight low, and then just below that I've got 17 and a quarter. So 17 and a quarter is going to be my next level below, because if we get below that, then I'm looking for a move back towards this 15 and a quarter, the naked cross at 15, and of course the back into that 1450 area. 1375 is our value area low. So I'm going to put this in here so that it covers the 1450 down to the 1350. And then the range low is 1275, but I'll really be waiting for them to get below that 12 and a quarter. 12 and a quarter puts us, in my mind, coming down to test this 2108.75. This is actually going to be still my main target below the key line in the sand. And then if we get below the 2106.75, the microcomposite value area high from February 5th till now, then I'm looking for that bigger move down towards the 2103.75, and that's going to be my extended target down, with a possible move down to test the 2100 level. Below 2100, 97.50, and then the next big target below is that 93.75. I don't think we're going to get, and then below that we've got that 89 target. That's the lower side of that balance around 93.75. It's also a naked VPOC. So those are my targets to the downside. To the upside, pretty simple. If we can hold above value and above range, I'm not discounting. I think we will get a move down into these levels and test the 2117, 2118 area. I'll be looking for responsive buyers down here to take us back up through and break out and go take out, the first target, which is the September RTH high at 2450. Then we've got the all-time September high at 26 and a quarter. There's a measured move still at 28. And then we've got the 32 and a quarter RTH all-time high in the June contract, and 34. As I've mentioned many times before, it's very rare that we get a contract equalization and we got a RTH to Globex unequalization, both on both contracts. So this area is got to be revisited to the upside. I have a new measured move on the 4 hour at 36.50. And then we have our other measured moves at 39. This one's changed. It's 41.50 now. Remember, this is also our 20-day 80 ATR target. So off of the low at overnight at 1775, our 20-day ATR is 2360. That takes us up to 2141.25 as our upside true range target. And then to the downside, off of the 2275, that takes us down to 2099 and a quarter, or that 20 or that 2100 target below. So we'll see what we got. We've got a possible Mr. or double Renko reversal here. So we'll watch. I'd be watching this in the next half hour. If we get the double Renko reversal, a move to the Keltner center line is going to take us down into that 17 and a quarter, 18 area, which we're expecting to come back and test. But if we open above 2120, look for initiative buying stepping in and a move to take out the overnight high on the open and possibly come up and take out our first target. The overnight high is our main target above right now, with the secondary target being 2450 this morning. Taking a look at gold, I want to show you this because I traded this last night. This is my favorite gold pattern, but this was a special one because of the fact that this was not only a FUBAR Mr. Sneaky tech gap, it was a double FUBAR, double Mr. Sneaky. So there's the move down on the 15-minute. There's the FUBAR. Didn't get quite the volume spike on the first one, but then we got it on the second one. And this is a second FUBAR, as well as a Mr. Sneaky, and then you had the second Mr. Sneaky. So these are generally very powerful, patterns. I took the long here on this Mr. Sneaky. I got in at 11:03.60, I believe, and rode it up. I rode it up to almost 18 last night. I was up pretty late, but when you see these patterns happening, this is a great trading opportunity, especially, and you don't see, this is the first time I've ever seen a double FUBAR, double Mr. Sneaky. Kind of caught me by surprise, so it was kind of cool to be there for it. Right now, looking at gold, our big target below, of course, we know we are waiting for that move down to 1128. They went all the way down to the low at 1080, and then they've bounced and they're now trading 1109.60. We're outside of balance, outside of range. We're in price discovery lower. The key level I'd be watching this morning is this 1104. I've actually got my stop just below this at 1103.10. It's not really where I want my stop. I really need to get my stop down here, but I didn't get enough Theo to do that. So I'm just trying to lock in some profit right now. And if they come down and take me out, I'll still be a very happy camper. It was a nice move on gold. If we get above 1114.20, look for them to come up into the 1120 and back into this 1128 and test it from below, and possibly even come up and test the other side of that balance, the upper side of that balance at 1134 again. So that's what I'm looking for gold, but the gold has made its move. It's hit its main target below. We're finding some responsive buyers down at the 1180, and they brought us back into the 1100. I'm sorry, 1080. They brought us back into the 1100s, and whether or not we can hold 1100s. If we get back into the 1000s, I gotta start going back further and finding new targets. But the big target for me right now below would be this 1160.10. But I'll be looking at this more closely sometime today. So that's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.